Okay, let's start then. Today is 2nd of December and it is 57th Development Experience Weekly Zoom call. And today we have 3 questions on agenda. First one is continuing discussing SDK vesting for the next year. And okay, so let's switch to Russian if anybody doesn't mind. Do we have English speakers here? Or hello? Does anybody? Do we have English speakers here? Does anybody do not understand Russian?
Как по мне, никого нет.
Так, какие-то звуки пронеслись, я не понял. Просто я не знаю, может быть, переключиться на русский, если все по-русски говорят. Steven, hello.
Hello, everyone.
So do you speak Russian?
No, I don't actually.
Okay, great. So we are continuing in English. So last time we discussed prolongation for SDK vesting for 1 more year. So we have SDK, we have binding for SDK actually. And we agreed that it is a good idea to prolongate it, but to keep our funds, we want to avoid paying for software that is not used. So we need some method how to tell if the software is in use or not. So here we have Ekaterina Pantas. So let's discuss it together. How can we decide which SDK binding we are going to prolongate and which we will stop paying for?
We need to find some metrics, obviously, and collect them for each of them.
Okay, any ideas?
My ideas are to check GitHub Insights, traffic, pane, like maybe ask for screenshots, and to check downloads of packages, published packages, number of downloads. Any other ideas?
Okay, in the GitHub we have inside tab, insights.
Yeah, insights, and there you can see traffic. But you can see it only for your repository where you have administration rights.
Yeah, I have. We don't have enough data to show anything useful. Okay, so in this screen, can you set up the date range? Can you define?
No,
the date?
just two last weeks. No.
2 last weeks. So actually we could, for example, today or tomorrow ask binding authors to provide screenshot of this insight for the last 2 weeks. Right?
Yeah. And to collect number of package installations, because if someone uses packages, they just install it from package manager and do not never visit GitHub repository actually.
Package installation. I think in different languages we have different package managers.
Yes.
So we can't.
We can ask them to collect this information somehow. Maybe also screenshots from package managers like npm. Like you can see the number of downloads there, and I'm sure other package management systems also have some UI to check number of installs there to make screenshots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any other ideas. Like,
do you think these two will be enough or not? How do you think?
I think also we can take into account stars, of course, forks, maybe issues, history, but like to consider them like all together, not just stars and issues. Because stars are easy to make.
What do you think if we could make this in a form of contest? I mean, look, we will collect some data from these guys, and they should provide this data to somebody and in some form, and somebody should keep this archive, these files, these screenshots in some place, and somebody should decide, are we going to prolongate for this particular binding or not? How do you think we will decide this as a society? I mean,
maybe we just someone prepares a document and we just vote on our next call, like, and that's all. Like, vote for each of them.
But if you have some like
maybe we need to define some rule, like below something we don't let the binding pass below some number of metrics or some altogether calculation of some metrics. I don't know. I want others to also tell us their opinions. Like, I'm not the only one who can have opinion about it.
Yeah, sure. Other people, please give us your thoughts, your ideas. Anybody? Anything?
So the idea is to try to evaluate the use of a software. I'm sorry, I just I arrived in the middle of the meeting, so I may have missed some.
No, you came just in time. It's fine.
Okay. So, but I heard you were talking about an SDK. So is what something specific for a project, or for you mean any project?
Yeah, we have SDK was made by Tonlabs, but we had a contest for develop some software for different languages to use this SDK for different languages, and we were paying wasting every month. We were paying some ton crystals now at Evers to support this software, for example, when SDK is upgrading, so this binding in every language should support new features of SDK. So it's some kind of work, and this work was rewarded by monthly payment. And
Okay.
it was during a year, and now we are at the end of this year, and we are thinking, should we prolong this reward for the next year? And it looks like a good idea, but we do not want to pay for the software which is not used.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we are discussing the methods, how we could define this. Do you have any ideas, Steven?
Well, no, one thing could be trying to reach the actual users of the software. Maybe looking at the number of issues in each repositories, because who says user says issues and says issues are being solved. So maybe you can build some metrics around it. But apart from figures on GitHub, I don't have more ideas than Katerina.
Yeah,
I think we definitely need to kind of choose, first of all, one library in one language. That's for sure. Like, we don't need to support 3 libraries competing with each other. We just need to take one which is mostly used and has, I don't know, whatever more stars right now, and whatever is just considered better, and then just to support that, if we support anything, just this one notion. And then the other question is, I think the users who use this library need to be brought in to support. And I suggest a mechanism where users who use the library will commit some funds, and DevEx subgovernance can then quadratically, like on top of the funds, like Git does, support the library, but not just let's decide and then support. I'm against that, because and we see that it's impossible to build metrics because they all can be manipulated. So from my perspective, the users need to commit, the users of the library need to commit funds to the library, and then DevEx subgovernance may consider to kind of top up these funds with their funds. Quadratically or linearly, doesn't matter. And I think this is my proposal.
Sounds interesting. So we have 2 variants. So first one is to, for example, make some type of contest and ask author of bindings to take part in this short contest, just to provide some proofs that they have users, real users, and DevEx SubGov will decide who will provide some sufficient proofs and metrics and so on. And other point, if we will ask author to ask the user to commit funds and add some funds from subgovernance, and
Isn't there a risk for voters who commit, who give money to use it as a way to make some profit by working directly with the developers?
Well, yeah, it's like no system is perfect, right?
Actually, yeah, for this variant that you gave us, how like an author of SDK binding, I could spend some, I don't know, some money.
I know, but then the thing is that how these funds are released. Then, like, this is also important.
Yeah. So
and yeah, there is no way to prohibit that. Like, you can establish some, obviously, like you can say, like independent known developer supporting something like that, this project. You can restrict some, donation from a known party to known party. I don't see any other real possibilities of how to do that otherwise. Or simply just the other option is just make it an open source project, like a normal open source project with donation, and whoever wants to donate, whoever interested in this binding will donate to support it. That's a very simple option. I don't, again, if there is a user who wants this binding, then why wouldn't these users pay for it? Donate to it. If FreeTON Labs needs a binding, right? We will definitely consider donating to to some of the bindings that we or our partners need, and that's no problem. So if someone needs this building, why not to spend a few tokens on it?
You're saying the blockchain is not interested in more developers anymore.
Blockchain is not interested in anything. Blockchain is just a bunch of blocks.
or society.
It's just a block.
I'm my view never changed. The only motivation for developers to develop anything should and must be an entrepreneurship, meaning that the only real development will be done when there is someone who is making money over this development. And if you look at any open source project, the only successful open source project are the ones where somebody, some contributors making money by supporting this project. If nobody makes any money, that's just a socialism. So it's not about blockchain is interested. No, blockchain is not interested in anything. Entrepreneurs behind the blockchain may be interested in something. And what we want these entrepreneurs to step out and say, we are interested in that. And the only way to say this is by committing money. Because that's what entrepreneurs do.
Yeah,
if you don't listen, if you don't create the system, it will never gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. But we should invite entrepreneurs. And for example, some countries, we should provide a good environment for entrepreneurs.
We did just that. We invited entrepreneurs. And they wrote the bindings. But wait, we invited entrepreneurs. But again, we invited entrepreneurs already. You cannot do that continuously. There is a difference between inviting entrepreneurs, making some, nobody's paying entrepreneurs for life.
But for example, government is doing some infrastructure like roads, big infrastructure project, and I think
SDK library is not a big infrastructure like a road. SDK library is a small piece of infrastructure. That will if you, by the way, the big infrastructure, the roads, you pay for them in normal countries. You pay for driving on the roads.
Yeah, obviously.
So yes, we can make an investment to build them. We did. Now someone should pay for it. Because if nobody pays for that, nobody's interested in using that. What's the point on putting a road in the place where nobody lives? Why government should do that?
Yeah, because we are trying to investigate does somebody live here or not?
Yeah, exactly. We did that. And now we want people to say to us, if you want to use it, what we built, because we built it, it works. It's a 10 or 13 languages that the bindings would work. Now we want to say, if you want to use it, now please pay. Very simple. And you don't need to repay us all that we have invested so far. You just need to start paying a little bit if you use it. And by voluntary contribution. And if nobody voluntarily contributes, then I'm certain that if nobody contributes, then nobody needs it. Yeah, it's a very simple indication.
So you want to clarifies the situation that this blockchain with his infrastructure is not required at all.
No, I'm saying that every piece of infrastructure that we spend money on to build need a verification on the market that it needed. And the only verification that I know is not your decision, my decision, or anyone's decision. It's by someone paying money for it. That's the only indication we came up for 5,000 years from the start of the money.
Yes, yes, but we should think about to lower borders. Right
This
now,
is very low borders. It's already done. It's already written.
You're asking right now, for example, if you want to invest in our country, please pay for cross the borders.
I'm not.
You are, because in this case,
I'm not, because you already built it. It's already built product.
In this case, SDK binding, it's like crossing the borders. If
no, in this case, SDK building is a road on which you want to drive. It's ready. If you want to drive, please put 5 cents into this counter.
But
that's normal.
Look, if somebody passed the road, he doesn't need to pay it. If somebody want to cross borders, he will need the road. So we should keep the road, the bridge.
It has nothing to do with that. The bridge exists.
But
we need to pay for it to use it.
We should support it.
No, I don't. Somebody should support it. The government doesn't support the road once it's built. It doesn't. Like in the bad countries, does. In a good working economy, it doesn't. People pay for the road, and part of this money also goes back to the government who gave the structured loan to build it for the long-term repayment. That's how it works in public sector. And we're trying to do something completely different. We're trying to build the USSR here. I'm totally against USSR.
Yeah, I'm against too, but okay. So we have.
But what? There is no but. Either you pay, someone pays, or not. If someone pays, then here it's a working system. If nobody does, only government does, then it's USSR, nothing else.
Well, maybe something I'm scared about it is that maybe the technology isn't mature enough for entrepreneurs to start working something on it right now.
Right.
Maybe that's one of the issues. So maybe if the government has to do something about it, is maybe help entrepreneur to start something in it. So if there is some kind of if the government has to do something, it's that maybe help entrepreneurs. So if there are SDKs, for example, that start some payment plans for every month you have to pay something, maybe the government can help for the first month an entrepreneur who would use a given technology.
Yeah, I agree. That's a very sound suggestion, because in my personal view, the technology is pretty mature, and I'm really willing to share the knowledge and approaches to the parties interested in real development on this platform. But until there are real need and desire, there is no incentive to, waste time. So I fully support this suggestion, and I'm ready to participate in getting this platform adopted as soon as possible.
Yeah, I totally agree with Boris. The technology is pretty mature. The SDK and its bindings is definitely working. There are projects that build on top of that. I don't see I understand what you're saying, and I totally agree with you, Stefan. But this is just, we're not talking about philosophical issues here. We're talking about a very concrete example of a working bindings for which we supported, which we sponsored. And now the only question is how it's going to be maintained. And I think the maintenance of these libraries, it's like the maintenance of a public road, should be brought into the private hands. Meaning, if someone wants it maintained, he should either maintain it himself by contributing to the open source community, or donating to this library maintainers. It's totally open source way. I don't see any even why wouldn't we discuss that? It's just the absolutely normal way of doing open source projects. Why do we try to create something completely, invent something which doesn't need to be invented?
But Mitya, last meeting we were discussing these questions. You were not against to prolongate.
I said I don't know. I said I don't know. I didn't think about that, and now I thought about that. This is my thought.
So, like, you took part in the discussion last time, and now you expressed. Like,
no, if you, I don't know.
Opposite.
I said maybe. I said that, you know, it's what wasn't like I was like, my contribution to the last discussion was around, I didn't even concentrate on that. I said that my contribution to the last discussion was about the Rust node contest. And by the way, did you discuss it already? Like, is it a contest that we started? It had to start on Monday. Did it start?
You are going
about
to the
participants.
Second questions.
Oh, it's second question. Okay, I didn't know. Maybe you have discussed it already.
No. Actually, I made some draft, but in one head, I don't feel comfortable to finish it in one hand. So I have actually several questions. For example, who will jury this contest?
Oh, the one that, well, normal juries, like, that is very simple. We have agreed that if there is nobody need to jury it. Like, if we have agreed that if there is more than one party and this party is satisfying, I mean, you mean checking if it's satisfying, then like anyone can do it. Like,
who will check? Who
well,
will
this
check
the initial members of the subgovernance. That's
okay.
It.
This is a point. This is the answer. Thank you. So jury will be initials. So some submission format requirement. Do we have any? Could we ask for some particular format, or it will
be just PDF explaining why, motivation, some team members, key team members' resumes, and that's it.
So we need a resume or CV.
No, some kind of not a full CV. We are not evaluating, people to join. Just a short paragraphs about team members and their expertise fields, and that's it. We just basically need to filter fake participants. That's all.
Okay, so we have some team requirements that they have at least 2 members. One of them should be Rust developer. Is it all team requirement?
I don't see any other.
Okay, are we going to make some advertisement of this?
Yeah, you need to push it in every channel, on Telegram channels and forum. I think it's very easy.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, like, initials jury. Are we going to make some rewards for participants or for juries?
I don't think so, Alex. Really. This is just stupid.
This is the problem about that. Like, you are against socialism, but you want somebody to work for without
it's
money.
Not. Like, I'm open source. Guy as well. I mean, you contribute something. Like, I'm not against. Like, I'm against socialism, but I'm not against you picking up your shit on the street for free. It's like minimum thing you need to do, because you're actually making money would make money probably on the judgment of this contest going forward. So you should take some effort on, evaluating this. I think it's something you need to. I'm not saying you don't need to give back to the society. You do need to give back to the society.
So let's make, I don't know, 500 stone for juries, and that's all. Or
No, I don't think so. Zero.
Zero.
Like, this is my opinion. I don't know. You can vote for it. I don't think there is something that takes 10 minutes for a submission. I'm not sure it will be more than 2 or 3 submissions. Like really, it will take 15 minutes from your life.
Okay,
Yeah.
imagine we have 1 or 4 submissions, and I have to go through it. For example, as a jury, maybe I will have questions with the participant. Maybe I want to call them to have a small talk with them to make sure that it's not fake, that they have really this expertise. Maybe I will ask to provide some additional documentation, some proofs, and it's a work. Maybe it could take 1 hour for.
The question is that do we need this level of really like thorough review of the participants? Like, do we really need it?
It's a problem
because like one of the participants will be Ton Labs, another participant will be Provenda. I'm sure you're not like going to check if Provenda is okay or not, like, right? You're not going to do that. It's a known infrastructure player in FreeTON. You don't need to evaluate it. And if there is a 1 team or 2 teams who comes which we don't know about, yeah, you look through the submission. Looking through the submission should be kind of enough. I'm not sure we need to launch a whole investigation agency to see if these resumes are fake. And anyway, you will not conduct Rust quality interviews, right, with their developers. I mean, you don't, because we're not paying them money. They also need to win contests. So like, yeah, I mean, let's put it in some perspective, guys.
This is a problem of sub-governance. Like you want to, they did something, but you do not want to pay for this. You don't want to reward this.
No, it's not about
people
that. No, it's not about that. It's not about that.
For example, me, as a
yeah.
judge, I'm looking at my time. I have 8 time per day, and I want to spend this time most efficiently. So I am thinking, should I spend this hour for judging, or should I spend this time to gain, I don't know, $50?
Let me put it into another perspective, Alex, for you.
Okay.
If you are here, you probably hold quite a lot of tons, like Evers, in your wallet, and you definitely are interested. Like, if you don't, then you shouldn't be here. Seriously. Like, if you don't have Evers in your wallet, you shouldn't be actually part of any subgovernance in Everscale. And if you do, then you are interested in this Evers, value. And that's what we want from people here, to be interested in Evers value. And if you're interested in Evers value, your like bloody interest in for this contest or that contest to be successful, and you can spend some time because you're spending this time on behalf of the money sitting in your wallet. And if you don't have it in your wallet and you're only here for like payment per hour, you shouldn't be here. That's my whole point is that our developers are not part of our ecosystem. Actually, even if you do code, if you only code for hourly payment, which you immediately convert from Evers to like dollars or whatever, you shouldn't be here. We're not interested in this kind of contribution because we're not interested in just someone writing the bloody code. Well, that's not how ecosystem is built.
You're saying so interesting stuff, but where was you 1 year ago, 1 year?
I was talking about exactly the same thing. Yes, I was like,
if
Alex,
we could make some criteria for take part in.
No, you cannot make it a criteria. No, you cannot make it a criteria.
Obviously,
a year ago, because nobody had any tons a year ago, and we couldn't start. We started something, and by the way, I was against the sub-governance to start from, so that doesn't matter. What my point is, year has passed. We distributed quite a lot of tons in different contests to different developers. If these developers are not holding any tokens, and particularly initial sub-governance members that don't hold any tokens, these developers should not be here. Of course, I cannot command anyone to leave, but this is one of the things how you actually filter people.
But how do you think initial members of subgovernance will collect these tokens if they do not have any rewards for anything? How do you expect
they
get the tokens?
Didn't they have any rewards? Didn't they? For like whatever millions of tokens we have distributed, you didn't have a chance to put some in your wallet and staking or in something? Really? We paid few times over. We paid several times over the market price for every contest. We distributed a lot of tokens.
For developers, for participants.
For developers and jury members and participants, yes.
But what about initials?
And what initials didn't get any rewards, right? Or we are just paying initials for some bureaucrats that don't participate in other contests. Like you're a developer, you probably participate in some other contests. If you didn't, I mean, I don't know, like that's also problematic. We are here in the community of developers for developers. Like, what? You didn't participate in any contest? Really? Again, my question is, what are you doing here?
Yeah, so you're expecting some stuff, but you do not.
Hey, guys, I have deep respect for both of you, but do we really have to continue this discussion?
I don't think so. This is we're expressing opinion on should initial members get some tokens for taking 15 minutes of their time, and to evaluate the submissions, and for this particular contest, which really nothing, it's just basically a resumes. I don't think so. That's my point. You can vote now.
Okay then. So it looks like I got everything to start it, and I will start it in an hour after we will finish this meeting. And that's all about this point of agenda. Regarding, we had a first point of agenda regarding SDK bidding. I think we could discuss it with, or we should like pass our opinion or these three variants to authors of the bindings. Maybe they will have some other ideas, or anyway, they should know about these variants. And about second point of agenda, it's clear. And third point of agenda, if Mitya has any drafts of contest, we could discuss it. If no,
no. Why do we said no? I'm not going to do any draft before we run this contest. We shouldn't be. It shouldn't be finished already. Not we're still discussing it.
Okay then. So that's all for today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you everybody. See you in a week.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
And thank you again for switching in English for me to understand. Really, I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, waiting for you for the next week as well. We will practice our English.
Yeah, I'll try to be here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.